My name is Mohammed Yazi and I'm gonna share with you a demo of a web application named FarsiClubs that I developed in the early months of 2021. The main task of this application was to show Farsi-speaking users a list of all the rooms which speak in Farsi. The reason that I created this application was at that time the Clubhouse room suggestion and language recognition was not as good as it is now. So I decided to help users find more rooms. I had some other features in my mind for this application as well. So I started to create them. At the end of December 21, I realized that the Clubhouse team improved their algorithms and some of the features I had added were in the list of new updates. There was no need for my application anymore and I stopped my application. I'm going to show you a demo of what Farsi Clubs look like and talk about the details of all the features. All the elements of user interface that you're about to see are in Farsi. I tried my best to explain them in English. The whole application from idea to implementation was my own work. As of my knowledge, there have not been any similar applications in other languages doing what Farsi Clubs used to do. It is worth noting that all the information shown in this app was for public rooms. There was no data collected or shown for the social and closed rooms. Let's start. The homepage is kind of an introduction to all features. But the main and most popular page of this application is the search page, the second icon from right in the bottom navbar. If you tap on the search icon, you can see all the Farsi rooms that are currently in progress. You can see that there is a search bar on top. Other than that, there are three tabs. One for current rooms, one for the featured events, and one for the past rooms. Each white card represents one room. It includes the photo of the curator of the room, the title of the room, the name of the club, the number of users in the room, and finally the number of hours this room has been in progress. If you tap on each card, you will see three tabs. 1. More info about the room. 2. More info about the club. And 3. Direct access to the room. When you tap on the direct access, your Clubhouse will open and you automatically enter the room. I remember that the number of rooms at the time of recording varied between 100 to 500 live rooms. It is worth mentioning that Farsi Clubs would recognize a Farsi-speaking room without having access to the audio, even if there was no Persian character in the title of the rooms. It was based on an innovative algorithm which I designed to take the graph of users' clubs' connections into account to find as many rooms as possible. The second sub-tab of this page is the rooms or events in the future. It has the same structures. You see a card for each event with the photos of the moderators and the event descriptions. You can directly open the event in the Clubhouse if you tap on the green text under each card. The other two options are club info and copying the link in case you want to share the event with others. The third sub-tab of this page is the rooms in the past. As you can see, there are a lot of cards representing rooms that were held in the last 7 days. If you tap on a card, you will see two options, Rooms Info and Clubs Info. You can always type in the search bar if you're looking for a specific room. At the time I created this application, there was no search features for rooms on the Clubhouse original application. I'm going to tap on the Rooms Info option for one of the rooms. The new page contains a lot of information about this specific room, such as a graph of the number of audience in the room over the different periods, the total duration of the room, the average and the maximum number of users, and more. Besides the stats, users can also copy the room link and share it with others. Let's go back to the search page. Now I'm going to pick the second option under the first card, which is the club info. This is another rich page of this application. It shows very valuable information about the club which organized this room, such as the club's most active moderators, how many rooms they have held, and how many of those rooms attracted a lot of audience, the total number of hours used to listen to their rooms. It even shows the graph of the club activities, the club description, and the list of all rooms under this club. If there were any social media or web addresses in the description of the club, they would be shown in this page as clickable links. This was the second most popular page among Farsi Clubs users, especially for the club owners because of those insights and records. Even now that I'm talking over this video, most of these features are not yet available in the Clubhouse. Now let's move to the third page, Clubs. Each card represents a club. There were more than 20,000 recognized clubs in Farsi at the time of recording this video. This page showed a list of all clubs with at least one public room in the last 30 days. It ranked them among other Farsi-speaking clubs, not in terms of the members, but in terms of the number of hours users listened to the content of each club. It also shows the frequency of the rooms for each club. For example, the first club usually had one room per day, which took on average 8 hours, and the average number of users in the rooms of this club was 2,000 users. Another measure that I used was gold, silver, and bronze medals. For example, gold medals show the rooms in which users listened for more than 2,000 hours. Let me explain it with an example. If a room has on average 500 people in it, and it took 5 hours, it means that users spent around 2,500 hours of their time in total listening to this content. You can always search for the word that you're interested in, and it will show you the clubs that match your search word. Let me show you the options under each card of clubs. One is club info, and the other is opening this club in the Clubhouse. I tapped on it, and as you can see, the real page of that club in the Clubhouse popped up. If I tap on the other option, Clubs Info, the FarsiClubs page of this specific club will be shown, which is very similar to the page we just saw a minute ago. The fourth page is the dashboard. It shows the total number of users in Farsi-speaking rooms over the last 24 hours. This graph shows that the peak of Farsi-speaking users was around 11 p.m. in Tehran's time zone with more than 18,000 users, and the lowest point was at 7 a.m. with around 4,000 users. This page's intention was to give some insights to room curators to pick the right time for their rooms. Besides that, there are some data analysis and visualizations done with R programming, which would be useful to active users of the Clubhouse. For example, there is a word cloud showing the most frequent words repeated in the titles of the rooms. So far, I showed you the 4 pages accessible from the bottom navbar. There is another button on the top right of the page. If you tap on it, it moves you to a login page. After logging in, you will see a list of all public rooms that you have created in the Clubhouse. Same as other pages, this page also contains graphs and stats, which I'm not going to explain all here because it's already a long video. You might have noticed that the displaying mode has changed to dark. FarsiClubs since beginning had both dark mode and light mode that you could select on the settings page. Some other features were added after this video was recorded, such as clubs recommendations. This is how it works. When you open the page of a club, FarsiClubs suggests to you the 3 most similar clubs to that club. That way you can find your club of interest easier and faster. In the end, I would like to thank the Clubhouse team for creating such a great application. I also need to emphasize that this project was just a side project for me to practice and learn web development, data analysis, database management, UI design, UX, and even designing a logo. At the same time, I hope that FarsiClubs played a role in making the Clubhouse experience easier for some users and also kept some users around for Clubhouse. To build this application, I use Python and MySQL for some backend algorithms, collecting and managing databases, and PHP for the backend web development, and pure JavaScript, HTML, and CSS for the front-end development. Thank you for watching this long video.